front of the boat, sighting the whales for the people to go and see.
Felipe Tonga was not destined to follow in his father's footsteps.
That sounds more like the female.
Instead, he became a conservationist with the International Fund for Animal Welfare. To Felipe, the humpbacks are sacred.
It's so beautiful. And if you're closer to them, or if they happen to be down below you underwater, the vibration just drives right through your body. It hits you spiritually and emotionally. You just, wow, you know, there was something else. You can't really explain it.
Now Felipe has an urgent mission: to save the whales from a return to the hunt. Tonga is a poor nation where the per capita income is about $5 a day. And the welfare of whales seems far removed from a hand-to-mouth existence. Some Tongans want to resume traditional whaling on a limited basis, taking some 24 animals a year. Felipe has launched a one-man crusade to stop the plan. He goes from village to village to speak for the whales.
The whales are worth far more alive than dead. I was trying to explain to them how the whales actually help us with bringing in the tourists. I feel that it's so important for me to try to get the Tongan people understand what we have in our own backyard is something very unique.
My name's Priscilla and I'm your Whale Watch guide today.
Tourism is a main source of hard currency here, and the whales are quickly becoming the star attraction. This is one of the few places in the world where people are allowed to swim with an endangered species. Felipe does not condone swimming with whales. Although the whales seem free to come and go as they please, he fears for the mothers and calves. Since a calf must surface every few minutes to breathe, and its mother usually will not leave the young one's side, these appealing pairs are the most accessible whales and the most vulnerable to disruption. But as a realist, Felipe knows that snorkels are preferable to harpoons. But the prospect of resumed whaling still looms, and Felipe thinks that even the loss of 24 whales, particularly mothers, could be catastrophic. For the son of a whaling family, the battle to save Tonga's humpbacks is not yet won.
I strongly believe that the whales are part of our culture. I want to see that what I'm trying to save will benefit the future generation to come.
In the Florida Keys, it's moving day for the pilot whales and their human entourage. The entire critical care unit must be shipped across town.
We've got to get everything in place before we move animals, and we have to move animals safely, and all the other things that happen today are just critical to that end.
We got 2 animals that'll be on stretchers just like this. These are 2 companion animals that need to be side by side.
With no room for error, every move is practiced on humans before it is attempted with the whales.
We don't have good footing.
An abandoned boat basin about 3 miles away will become the whales' new recovery ward. With deep water and protection from the weather, it may be a perfect haven.
As long as we keep these guys in the water, we better lift up.
The goal is to move the whales as quickly as possible. Because their skeletons are not designed to support their massive bodies out of water, speed is essential. Even a small calf like number 7 might not hold up under the stress.
Easy. Easy, put it. Easy.
And if the convoy is delayed, the animals could go into shock or die. The team is especially worried about whale number 1.
Here we go. Big breath. 1, 2, 3.
At about 1,200 pounds, he faces the greatest medical risk.
Come on, baby, breathe.
Finally, the whales are safe in their new home. And the calf has held up surprisingly well. But as they feared, the move has taken a physical toll on number 1.
Catching up with everybody right now.
Okay.
Number 1's getting his.
So we have to have him in by 10.
3 days after the move, the big male loses his battle and draws his last breath. After just 3 weeks, the group that numbered 7 whales is down to 5. All of them stressed by the move. The goal of releasing them now seems like a distant dream. In Seattle, it's been months since Ken Balcom witnessed the sonar exercise in Puget Sound. To his relief, none of the killer whales actually stranded during or after the May 5th event, and J-Pod seems to be okay. But 9 porpoises washed up in the inland waters of Washington State in the weeks after the exercise. A higher than average number. The U.S. government launched an investigation into the deaths. The scientists discovered that some of the animals died from natural causes, and they found no evidence of harm from sonar in any of the stranded porpoises. But according to their report, some of the animals were too decomposed to yield definitive results. And even in those that could be studied, the scientists could not rule out underwater sound as a contributing factor.
Here you go. There you go, 2 of them.
Fueled by uncertainty, the debate over sonar has become contentious, pitting navies against environmental activists around the world. Some argue that sonar is a relatively small problem, that toxins, fishing nets, and habitat degradation are the real killers. But the issue of sonar is not likely to disappear until its effects are truly understood. In the meantime, the Navy must, by law, avoid harassing whales, a task that will be easier when science provides more answers.
I think that the next year or so will bring tremendous progress in understanding what's going on and developing methods that will enable the Navy to do its job and also enable us to protect the environment.
The Navy is now anticipating warfare close to our shores instead of on the deep ocean. And so their exercises tend to be in shallower water where most of the marine mammal populations are. So we're seeing more interactions between sonar and marine mammals now than we used to see. But certainly they can coexist. And we can cut down the number of deaths that we're seeing by carefully avoiding areas where we know marine mammals concentrate.
One of those areas is Puget Sound, Ken Balcom's doorstep.
I
I definitely understand Ken's viewpoints on sonar. Twice now he's had a major study site of his interrupted by sonar. And I think that if I were him, I would probably be encouraging the Navy to work elsewhere as well.